Stream elements. Neostormer is now live. Streaming science and technology. 850th stream.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. We're on day 850 of our continuous streaming challenge, and we're going back into doing some CAD, but not for the table, and not particularly for the PySite project, but this project was meant to have an extension to it, and that is to have a stand so I can zoom in on what I'm working on. All we've had is this above desk camera, and I would like to have something that gets closer up. I did have the iCam at one point, but I haven't done that in quite a while. So I'd like something that I can just sort of move in, zoom in on what I need, use the interface, do whatever. There are some off-the-shelf kits that I can get, but I want to take a little bit of a look at what there is before I decide to create my own. So I did a quick search for camera microscope stand, and there's quite a few out here. I'm not sure what design I'm going for. I'd like one where I can just freely move it without having to tighten any bolts, but it needs to hold its position. The other thing I'm missing from this camera is a top light or a ring light that goes around the lens. I can either do that from sort of like on what's on this one, where it's got these little arms coming over that have lights on them. But that would mean the entire thing would have to move. So I kind of want like a ring light, kind of like what's on this one. But I want it to be on the same arm. That probably means I need to build something off of the end of this unit. What's the size that I need? 34.5 millimeters. See, some of these are way too small. That's 29. Some interesting design. You know what? I think Tyson has something. Yeah, they have this light cycle. I think it's light cycle. Task light. Which is cool, but obviously piled up with patents. But the idea is you have a counterweight on the other side. And I know there was a YouTube project that's very similar to this. I guess they have this one as well. I don't know how that one's patented. It's just a swinging arm. Turn the volume off on that. I don't really care about the light components more than the 3-point revolute motion. Oh, interesting. Magnetic touch glide. Oh. That's a bit weird. I like the tensioning mechanism they put in there. I think what I'd rather do is put in a cylindrical bearing on the rod and then have some have a tensioner on there so you can reduce how quickly it can move. Yeah, this is the open source project. Yeah, I don't really know how you patent that, but I know he made a cheaper version, and that would have been easier. Constructables. Oh, that's the vacuum. I don't need that. Ah, that's it. The Express. That's what he was talking about. He updated 2 days ago. I made alternatives. Express hardware boosting kit. $10 or more. Kinda wanna watch that. No, the ad.
If you're new to this project, the DIY is my attempt to design and build my own task light inspired by one of my favorites, the Dyson light cycle. In the last build log, we made a ton of progress on tidying up the electronics using a custom-made PCB and managed to miniaturize the functional components of the lamp into the LED enclosure. In this build log, things are going to be a bit different. I've been doing a lot of work on the lamp recently, and I'm really eager to share my progress with you. But I've also been doing some reflecting on the overall project lately, and today I want to share those reflections with you. What if we took the DIY and stripped out the one thing that accounts for like 90% of the complexity? You may have already guessed it, but in my opinion, that thing is without a doubt the electronics. While things like the industrial design and the motion system feel fairly isolated and manageable, the electronics is different. It's a source of pure entanglement. It infects almost every other component of the lamp with new constraints, interdependencies, cost, and skill barriers. If we could somehow just delete these electronics complications, what it would mean for the
That's a
project
cutie
is
pie.
that basically anyone with a 3D printer could build their own DIY SIN in just a matter of hours. So that's what I did.
Meanwhile,
This is the
regulator.
DIY SIN Express. The DIY SIN you can build in a weekend and iterate upon forever. It's kind of like the streamlined younger sibling of the no compromises DIY SIN that I've been working on up until this point, and that DIY SIN is the one I'll continue to develop from here on out. You can build the DIY SIN Express in a weekend because it capitalizes on a capability that likely wasn't very attractive or affordable when the Dyson Light Cycle or the C-SYS lamps were invented, and that's high-density rechargeable batteries. By switching from an external power source to an embedded one, we can move from an electronics package that looks like this to one that looks like this. This tiny device is like a cuboid bag of holding for all of our electronics woes. It has a high CRI LED, adjustable brightness, adjustable color temperature, and a noticeable lack of flicker. The area directly surrounding the light source is where the overall design departs from its older siblings, but it still draws a lot of inspiration. Matching radii around the corners, a super thin shell, and a strategically placed part line give it a less monolithic look. And I even included a cute little window for the battery indicator to shine through. The design feature that makes all this work is the mounting solution. This LED cube has an embedded magnet, so by embedding my own magnets in the enclosure, the cube can be popped in and out of place effortlessly when it's time to charge. This approach to power delivery is better than it sounds. Months ago, I actually dismissed this battery-based approach because lights like this only tend to get about an hour or so of battery life at full brightness. I learned that when I started using this battery-powered light panel to light my videos. That was before I started using it as my go-to personal task light, and what I learned is that because I can position this light source directly above my work area, I rarely, if ever, increase the brightness beyond 10%. And at that rate, I can easily get 8 hours or more of battery life. This little cube has a smaller battery capacity, so at 20% brightness, I get about 4 to 5 hours of life. More often than not, I finish using it before the battery is even close to being fully drained, and I just swap the modules so that I have 2 fully charged light sources the next time I need them. You can also bring over a USB-C cable for a quick top-up. 4 to 5 hours of uptime not enough for you? Need more light in your workspace? No problem. Just find another light that works for you and design an enclosure for it. I made this one for a wand-style light that has an impressive 2000 mAh battery and a larger, more diffused light source. I've tested a handful of these battery-powered lights, and there are some really cool options out there. Take this wand-style light from Newer. Despite only a slightly larger footprint, its battery packs an additional 500 mAh of juice and has a noticeably higher quality LED chip with a CRI of 97. I personally find it a little too bulky, but you could easily design your own adapter for this and would make a super high quality option. But why stop there? This behemoth has 5 times the battery capacity of our little cube, 5 watts of output power, and can be controlled with an app. And yeah, this level of silliness is kind of what I loved about this streamlined approach. Every one of these options has benefits and compromises, and it just comes down to finding the one you like and
See,
making your
that's
own
kind of how I
enclosure.
want to use
Feeling
the camera.
indecisive? Are you a Sith Lord? Stick a light on both ends for a Darth Maul look. Everyone's DIY Express contains choices and compromises that make it a deeply personal object. I even made a little template in Fusion 360 where you can enter the dimensions of your favorite light and start customizing. If you do go out and design your own, here are a couple tips I learned while making mine. First, even though the magnet that's embedded in my light cube is circular, it doesn't necessarily to make your enclosure cohesively thickness on all sides. Been showing. The minimal battery life is more than made up for by the perfectly placed magnet, the place in the smallest and best form factor. At $30 US, it's also a fraction of the cost of other cube-shaped options I tried. The full parts list of the DIY Express is short enough that it fits in the description of this video, and the only tools you need are a 3D printer and a couple of hex bit screwdrivers. Many of the 3D printed parts and nearly all of the off-the-shelf
See the
parts are
counterweight?
currently
That's
shared with
kind
the
of what
full
I want
version
to
of the
do.
DIY. So if you wanted to upgrade your DIY Express to a full-on DIY once the project is finished, you would have a serious head start on that. I've added all the files to the DIY Express directory of the GitHub repository so you can modify any of the parts yourself. The total cost of the project will vary just based on which light source you choose. I can pretty much guarantee that it's going to cost quite a bit less than the Dyson light cycle, for example. And that's the DIY Express. I'm hoping that there are some of you out there who are as excited as I was to take on this little project. I really did have a lot of fun working on it, so I hope you do too. For those of you who are more invested in the non-Express version of the DIY, no need to worry. I'm still obsessing over that, and I plan to keep pouring my time into it, developing the full version for as long as it takes. In fact, splitting this project up like this allows me to push even harder than I could before. Yeah, overall, I've been
Yeah,
pretty
it hasn't
happy and content
updated in
working on this project
quite a
lately. I
while.
still aim to make the DIY Sin as approachable and affordable as I possibly can, but it's just naturally going to be geared towards folks who are able to invest time, money, skill into a project like this. I made a lot of progress on that video, so then thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Is even an enclosure for options out there. It's a little too bulky, but you could easily object. I even made a little template in Fusion 360 where you can and color is just seeing rigidity. Personally, my favorite.
Okay. I wonder, does he have this designed in here? Public DIY some. There's something in here. Nothing in that one. Looks like somebody started to make one. I'm not sure if I want to go that route. It is a nice build. It is a shame that this kit doesn't include quite a lot of this stuff in it. List. Yeah, lots of open build stuff. Oddly enough, I think I actually have access to these open build parts from a really old project. Like the eccentric spacers. Which we just saw a CAD of. Yeah. Lead shot. Probably for the weight? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta look at this. That is cool. That's a really cool device. I have no idea if it would work. felt that useful. Found it inaccurate and difficult to get a true representation. Ended up using a ruler and cardboard to make templates. Yeah, I could see that. Contour gauges. I would say it's good for an estimate. I have the black versions of these. Yeah, these Delrin V wheels. I haven't been on open builds in a very long time. But it doesn't look like it's changed much. These are all fairly easy for me to acquire, and I may already have access to them. Okay.
Light so far is this Ulanzi cube that I've been showing. The minimal battery life is more than made up for by the perfectly placed magnet, the placement of the controls, and their proximity to the USB-C port. Overall,
Okay, I know it's 2020 aluminum, but I can probably confirm that. Open builds, linear rail. Yeah, it's 2020. I think the one I have are the industrial black ones. Normally work with 80-20, but 2020 is fine for this purpose. I'll leave it unlabeled for now. At 35. The reason why I want to do 35 all the way up to 50 is set screws with nylon tips are usually 4 millimeters plus the nylon tip, so like 5.1 millimeter. So that should give me more than enough room. Okay, if I make that 10 by 10, that will fit with the 20. But I want it to bleed out a little. How far is 20 millimeters going to run me? That's about 20. Can't hold it from the top of 20. Well, I probably can if I skip that part. Maximum I want to go is 30, really. I think it's just way too much. I mean, I guess if I want to hide the USB cable in the extrusion, it's not a bad idea. By 12. Well, it won't be 22, it'll be 24. I need offsets. So by 50, up to next. I like using M4 for set screws. So 3mm. Linear pattern. Feature, extrude, direction, and 10mm. And then circular pattern. Axis 3. And distance is 25. Okay, let's take 5 away from that. That works. And 5, so that's 4.5. Headless nylon tip. Metric. And 4. Smallest is 4mm. Expensive as all hell. 3.3 drill size. Five is that's clearance size. 4.2. Oh no, wait, I need a clearance. Five point three. You know what, I kinda wanna make it be 25mm. I like the look of that. And we'll do it on the inside as well. That's 7.5? Doesn't have to be that close. It's 5.2, 7.5. So if I take away 2.5 from the wall, makes it 5, which is fine. Because the lens is actually smaller than that, just a bit. Camera, not lens. $22.5, so I need to remove 2.5. Said he put a line in the middle just to break it up. I don't know if that's needed. Not a huge fan of that. I mean, that's a little better. I like the less busy approach. It's hard because I feel like it looked better when this was thicker. The back end kind of throws it off. Well, let's see what it looks like in an assembly. Oh, come on. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's kind of where I see it going, if I have to have it. How do I make a copy of it? Tangent. Doesn't look too bad. This looks okay. I'll evaluate what parts I have available to me and then go from there. Alright, is there anyone I can raid tonight? My cat is yelling because he is hungry. No raid tonight. No, I'm relevant, and I'm not feeling 100% up to it. Alright, well, thank you all for tuning in. I know this has been kind of an odd stream, but sometimes I just need to get the ideas out and see where my approach is coming from. But with that, day 850 of my continuous streaming challenge complete. I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.